Hi, I'm Mike Monocello, Editor-in-Chief of Business Solutions Magazine. Thanks for joining us today. We're here at the Retail IT VAR of the Future, the first ever in Las Vegas. I'm here with Jim Roddy, the President of Business Solutions. Jim, thanks for joining us.
Mike, always a pleasure.
So Jim, I'm wondering, we're partway through the conference and we've had an opportunity to talk to a lot of attendees and hear from a lot of the speakers. I'm wondering what kind of recurring themes you're hearing and things that are really resonating with the audience.
I'd say probably the most gratifying thing is, to steal the line from the old Virginia Slim cigarette ads where it was, "You've come a long way, baby."
Okay.
I mean, you can really see where this industry has come and how far along they've come.
Sure.
Where, we just had a conversation about POS as a service. And you and I know from talking from an editorial standpoint and from you were trying to find resellers to feature who have done that was really hard to come by, half a decade ago. And then you couldn't even get people to listen to it because they said, I'm fine, I'm good. But boy, we had a jammed session there, standing room only, and lots of questions and lots of engagement, and also a lot of best practices that could be shared in terms of steps that can be taken to embrace the as-a-service recurring revenue business model. So I know a lot of folks have had fear or concern over the future of this channel, but if folks can adapt to the as-a-service business model and sell some of the forward-thinking technologies that are here on the show floor right now, I really see a bright future for the retail IT channel.
Yeah, touching on that, it was interesting to hear from many of our panelists who are actively selling point-of-sale solutions as a service, whereas like you mentioned, years ago, there weren't any. And a lot of the obstacles that we talked about this morning, whether it's hardware as a service, finding the funding to do that, overcoming some of the challenges, it seems like people in this space have figured out ways of overcoming those things, right?
Right, the resellers have taken giant steps, and then we've also seen the distributors from a financing standpoint have taken giant steps, and we see some of the vendors here on the show floor are also doing things as well to make that, and it's baby steps. I mean, you said this right from the get-go. You've always given the advice of, you don't have to switch all your customers and all your products tomorrow, but you work with one customer, one product, and I'm really starting to see that from an as-a-service standpoint.
Sure, okay. Another thing that came up today quite often was the topic of EMV. Obviously, it's a huge topic in the channel. I'm wondering if you could share any key takeaways that you picked up concerning that topic.
Well, one thing, and I know it'll make you feel good, as you've said for a long time, don't just focus on EMV, it's just one slice of the entire payment security.
Sure.
Focus on all of payment security. And we had Aaron Hagler here from Tolt Solutions, and Aaron has $125 million a year in just recurring revenue. They're a $250 million reseller organization, and so he talked about very much in terms of don't just focus on EMV. And so just, again, I've heard you said it, I think it's good advice to hear somebody who's walked many miles in those shoes with his organization. Sure. I'm guessing that had to be gratifying for you as well, and it's just got sound advice.
Yeah, absolutely. And then another topic that we talked about a lot today was mobility, trying to decipher where the play is for retailers, whether it's mobile point of sale or customer engagement using mobile devices. Anything really resonate with you about the mobility topic?
When it kind of tied in together, we just talked about as a service, how it ties in that mobility can really help enable that. And I guess the other thing is, you always hear the fears of, oh my gosh, this is going to be terrible, the pendulum's going to swing all the way and there's going to be no more point of sale. I think you might have said it during the panel about we're starting to find the applications where this really works, and it's kind of starting to settle in. So I don't know if you want to share any more details on that you've seen from where mobile POS really does fit in, and it's not going to knock everything off that front counter.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we talked about it this morning. There are definitely some niche applications or niche markets where mobile point of sale is a great fit. There are stadiums or kiosk applications. We've talked to readers, and some of the panelists talked about retailers who are looking to, for seasonal purposes, maybe take their point of sale system and get it outside for a little bit. So there's definitely some applications there. And something I thought was really interesting was mobility. It's such a hot buzzword, and all the retailers know about it. They don't really understand it, many of them. They just know that they want it. They don't even understand how it's going to work for them. And oftentimes that leads to a conversation that brings in additional sales. So it might not ultimately lead to a huge mobile point of sale, but it could springboard into other traditional fixed terminals and other kind of stuff like that. So
exactly.
Yeah. So anything else to add about the event so far?
No, again, it's just been great to have the positive vibe here, and that folks can see a way for a better future. It's not just, oh, we're hoping. And I really like Brad Holloway had brought up 9 years ago, some folks from the RSP had put up a list in a meeting at the winter conference about things to fear, and none of those fears actually came to fruition. So the things that can hurt you the most are the things you just might not be paying attention to that'll get you in the next year or two. So I'm glad to see so many people at this event. I'm glad to see so many people engaged and participating, because that's where it's going to be key to get that education to see where exactly you're going to fit in.
Yeah. Well, Jim, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. For more videos from the Retail IT VAR of the Future, make sure you're checking out BSMtv. Thank you.